Okay, hello everybody. Sorry, I'm having a cable emergency there. Okay, welcome to my third video. I'm doing this one straight after the second one because I had a bit of time. And what I decided to do this lesson, it's not too hectic. It'll probably be quite a short one. Okay, so today I'm just going to be showing you a really basic intro to picking and synchronization between your hands. Okay, so one thing we must quickly establish is the naming convention for the strings. So if I say, okay, we're playing on the fourth string, you immediately know what I'm talking about and you know where to play. Okay, so as you see, we've got the six strings, going from a nice thick string to a nice skinny string. Okay, and the way that it is general convention to name them is the highest string, which I know it's the furthest away from you and like the lowest down, but we say it's the highest string because it makes a high pitched note, is the first string. And then it goes down by moving up. I know it's like, what? It is a bit weird at first, but once you get used to it, it's really not so bad. So it goes all the way down until we get to the thickest string. I think I might need a bit more volume. The thickest string, which is called the sixth string. So you have the first string, second string, third string, fourth string, fifth string, sixth string. Okay, I was just checking my guitars. It's tuned up a bit weirdly. Nothing to worry about though. Should I do a retake? Should I? No. Let's just roll with it. Okay, let me just fix this. Okay, like I said, no retakes. Retakes are for people who are concerned with looking perfect, which I'm not. So okay, cool. Okay, so we have the strings. We've got the first string, second string, third string, fourth string, fifth string, sixth string, right? Okay, cool. So it's really important that you stick that numbering, the naming convention. If I say play on fourth, you know immediately you're playing the string. So it's the fourth from the bottom. Okay? Second string. Second from the bottom, not from your version of the top. From your version of the top. Sorry, I know we live in some weird reality where everyone has different versions of the top. Okay, so stick with the naming convention. If I know I've been kind of jumping around a little bit, if I've confused you or anything, please let me know. I do apologize, but it's not too hard. Should be fine. Okay, since we're speaking about conventions, I may as well go on the other one. With fret numbering. Now when I say fret, what I actually kind of mean is spaces. So if I say play the first fret, you're playing in the first space. As you can see there. Okay, so it starts at 1. And obviously, sorry, quickly, if you're not holding anything down, then you're just playing an open string. It's open because you're not pushing down. It's not being held anywhere, so it's an open string. Okay, so then 1, first fret, first space, but I'll say fret, moving up, all the way until you get to the 22nd or 21st, 24th fret, or whatever. Okay, so that's the naming convention. If I say move up the neck, you're moving this way. If I say move down the neck, you're moving that way. I know it may seem a little bit backwards, and when I first started playing it did to me, I was like, why isn't up, show you that way, because it's pointed upwards. But no, this is up. That's down in terms of moving along the neck. If you're moving horizontally along the neck, if you're moving vertically along the neck, up is that way, down, and down is up. I know. So if I say you move down, it's that way because of the actual pitch of the notes you're playing are moving down. The pitch is getting lower. You're playing lower and lower notes when you're moving vertically up the neck. Anyway, it shouldn't bother you too much. I said this video wasn't going to be too much theory, so let's just leave it there. Okay, alright, so now the basics of picking. There are a couple of picking techniques in terms of how you're moving your right hand, and the one we're going to focus on for now is called alternate picking. And it's called that because your hand alternates between playing downstrokes, which is when you move your hand down, so the pick moves down through the string, and upstrokes, where the pick pulls up across the string. So down across the string, up across the string. And with alternate picking, you are always going to be keeping that pattern of down, up, down, up, down, up. So if you're playing, for example, on the third string, just open, not holding anything down, we'll get to that in a minute, you're going to be going down, up, 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 down, up. Okay, so it's important to stick to that. You'll see later on, probably in quite a while, we'll get to a different picking technique, which is the one I personally use. But for now, alternate picking will give you a couple of things. It'll give you really great timing, because you'll see maybe in the next, like maybe the fourth or fifth video, we'll see how the rhythm of notes and stuff work, and you'll see how alternate picking coincides really well with that. It'll give you a nice strong technique. It'll help you build speed. Yeah, it's a really good place to start. Lots of people pick only down notes. Don't do that. No. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. All the time. Really important to stick to that. It'll help you build speed. Obviously, it lets you play twice as fast as just picking down notes. So stick to alternate picking. That's what it's called. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, now the first thing you're going to try, a really nice basic picking technique, is you're going to start on the sixth string, which is the one that makes the lowest notes, really fat string. In the next lesson we'll get onto what notes these actually are, but that's, like I said, for next lesson. Okay, so what you're going to do, just pick it a couple times. Down, up, 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 down, up. Keep a nice, steady, it doesn't matter how fast you're going, just keep a nice steady pace. Down, up, down, up. And then just do that for all the other strings as well. So on the fifth string, down, up, 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 down, up. Fourth string. Keep it nice and steady. All the strings. Just a nice steady picking. Okay, so if you can just keep it doesn't have to be fast by any means. In fact, when you're learning, the slower the better. You want to be really accurate. Accuracy is numero uno. Speed is a secondary thing. It comes with accuracy. It comes with time. I've been playing for like 6 years. I've been playing for like 6, almost 7 years, and I'm still, having to build speed. And you do that just by being accurate. If you can play fast but not accurately, nobody's gonna care because it's gonna sound like crap. So be accurate. Rather be slow and accurate than fast but hitting wrong notes and missing notes, and your notes sound horrible. So just nice and slow on the fourth string, accurate, steady, even though I'm not being really steady, but you must be steady. I can't play and talk very well at all, so I apologize for that, but just keep it nice and steady. Now with your hand motion, what you want is, I hate doing this, but it's this kind of wrist motion. Motion must, I probably should have said this to start off with, but the motion must come from your wrist, not from your elbow. This kind of motion, you want that kind of motion. So you're not doing, I don't even think I can do it. You're not like locking your wrist and moving with your elbow. You're locking your elbow and moving with your wrist. And when I say lock your elbow, I don't mean you must stay stuck in the same position, because obviously when you move, when you're playing on different strings, your elbow, you know, it's either coming up or you're opening it up a bit when you go down. So it's, you know, kind of closed up in here, and it opens a bit more when you get to the higher strings. But when you're playing on one string, you want to keep your elbow position stable. You don't want to be moving from your elbow, you want to be playing from your wrist. Another thing you don't want to do, which is something a friend of mine does, I will not name names, but he knows who he is he plays, it's kind of strange, but he plays by like moving his fingers like that. I know, I can't even really do it, but it's, ugh. He plays like that, which is, there is a technique which we might get into, I can't really do it, where it's a technique, it's called snap picking or something, which lets you play like super, super fast, because you're doing this like weird motion with your fingers. But in terms of normal picking, you want to keep this, your hand must be nice and locked in terms of your fingers, and your wrist must be moving. So don't do any funny finger stuff. Okay, so nice smooth motion with your wrist, nice and open, nice and relaxed. Don't tense up when you play, just keep it nice and relaxed. Okay, so that's, yeah, okay, so for picking the open strings, just, you know, take this next week, because I'll probably put more videos up next week. Excuse me. I'll probably put more videos up next week. Take this week and just get comfortable with picking individual strings. Nice and steady, moving on. And you don't have to move directly, you can take a little break. You know, just to make sure that you're positioning your hand in the right place. Okay, so once you've got comfortable with that, and really don't push yourself. If you can do this for even 10 minutes a day, sounds like a lot. But if you can do it for 10 minutes a day, just this picking for the next week, just to get comfortable with it, that is perfecto. And I'm speaking a lot of foreign languages. If someone out there wants to translate, that's good. You know, I don't know, I'm an encyclopedia of foreign languages. Perfecto, okay? Yes, so it is perfecto. Yeah, but that's great. If you can do it 10 minutes a day, just picking like that until you're nice and steady, that's perfect. If you get bored of that, if you pick it up really quickly, if you've already been playing for a bit and your alternate picking is fine, then you can move on to changing between the strings nice and smoothly. So you can say start on the 6th string, move to the 5th string, and then come back. And the whole time you're alternating down, up, down, up, down, up. Even when you're coming back up, you're going down, up, 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 down, up. If you need to, because this hand isn't doing anything at the moment, if you need to watch where this hand is, that's perfect. What you need to be doing at this stage is getting a feel for where your hand is on the instrument, so that you can play any string. You just know where the strings are. You don't need to look, even though I'm actually messing up the one that I was planning to go to, but you can play whatever string you need without checking where you are. That's a really important thing, because your eyes, when we get onto some more stuff, will be focused on this, on your left hand. So it's really important that this hand knows where it is without doing anything. Okay, this video is going to be a little bit longer because there's one other kind of technique which I want to talk about quickly to get some synchronization going between your hands. So once you're comfortable with just picking strings by themselves, in strict alternate picking and moving between them fluidly, even though that wasn't. Always try to do your when you're doing that, when you're moving between the strings, try keep your notes in even numbers, so that you're always going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, or say 4 notes, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Or you can even do maybe 6 notes, just so that you're moving to the next string with a downstroke. You don't want to be doing, say, 3 notes, no, down, up, down, and then you have to go up on the next string. We'll get to it a bit later. For now, just keep it even groups of notes, so 2, 4, 6, 8, anything like that, before moving on. Okay, the last thing I want to do quickly today is a little bit with your, this will be quite a long video then, with your left hand. Okay, so what we're going to do is, we're going to take, quickly, naming convention for this hand. Okay, your thumb is not really considered in the naming convention because it's your thumb and it's not really used for playing. You have your first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. I don't know the names of the fingers, so I can't help you there, but first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger. So if I say you're playing on the blah 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 fret with your first finger, you know it's this one. If I say third finger, second finger, fourth finger, you know which finger I'm talking about. Which is really important to stick to this convention. Yeah, okay, so maybe make notes if you need to, if you want to, of the conventions, just to help you. It'll be really useful, because then if you're speaking to other musicians, other guitarists or something, if you're speaking the same language, and I don't mean in terms of like English or French or Portuguese, whatever, in terms of conventions for numbering and how you name things, how you play and, name things on the guitars, then you'll be able to obviously, swap ideas and stuff, and a lot easier. So stick to the conventions, really important. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be playing on the 6th string, it's the low one. You're going to take your first finger, position it on, so you're pushing down the 5th fret. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to play first finger on the 5th fret, second finger on the 6th fret, second finger on the 6th fret, yeah, third finger on the 7th fret, fourth finger, your pinky, on the 8th fret. When you're watching me play, listen to what I'm saying in terms of the numbers, because I'll always tell you what frets and what fingers to use, but also watch. You can see all guitars, or most guitars, will have fret marks, especially on, if you can see there, along the side of the neck, and sometimes on the actual fretboard it has fret marking. So it tells you this is the 3rd fret, 5th, 7th, 9th, 12th. 12th is the one that has the 2 dots. 15th, 17th, 19th, 21st. It helps you identify where you are on the guitar. So it's really useful to listen to what I'm saying, but then also to make a visual connection between, where the frets are, so you can quickly see if you're playing the 3rd fret or the 5th fret or the 7th fret or the 9th or 12th or something in between, like the 6th, the 8th. It'll just help you, sorry, my cat's doing something over there. It'll just help you learn more quickly if you create these little like shortcuts for yourself in your brain as to where you're playing and how you're playing and everything like that. Okay, so like I was saying, you're playing 5th fret on the 6th string with your first finger, 6th fret with your second finger, 7th fret with your third finger, 7th fret with your third finger, and then 8th fret with your pinky. What you're going to do is, like we had alternate picking just of the open notes, you're going to be alternate picking but playing that pattern. So you're going to go first, second, third, fourth, first, second, third, fourth. It might be easier for you if you want to start on the first space. So then you're playing first space, first finger, second space, second finger, third space, third finger, fourth space, fourth finger. That's cool. You can literally do this exercise anywhere. That's why it's such a nice one to start off with. But I just like the fifth space, 5th fret. Good place to start. So now what you're doing is you're synchronizing between what your left hand is doing and what your right hand is doing. And now it's super important to take this really, really slowly. Make sure your synchronization is perfect so that you don't get a situation where what you want to be doing is as this finger is coming down, you're picking the note. You don't want to be, you play this note and then this finger lands and then you pick the note. Or you play this note and then you're playing the next note with this hand, but then only slightly after that, you're landing with this finger. You want to be nice and smooth, nice and even, accurate, 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 accurate is what we're going for, not speed. So, make sure you're using your pinky. All 4 fingers is what we're going to be doing. Okay, so now you can take that pattern and you can move it onto the other strings, like we had with just the picking of the open strings. You can try it here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And keeping down, up, down, up. Down, up, down, up the whole time. Moving on to the 4th string. Moving on to the 3rd string. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's really, I cannot overstate how important it is to get this synchronization. So if you can spend, like you had 10 minutes just to do this, maybe then you have, 20 minutes of just doing this. If you can do half an hour of practice a day, that's perfect. Another thing, let me just add quickly, it's way, way, way better to do half an hour a day than like 6 hours on one day on a weekend or something. So, I know maybe you don't have time, whatever, but if you can just do half an hour a day, I at least try, even if it's late at night, to do like an hour of practice a day. But if you can just, when you're starting off, do half an hour, you'll see so much progress. It'll be great. Okay, you really, really, if you want to get somewhere, you need to be practicing every single day. I heard something that said if you can do something every single day for like 21 days or something, then it's stored in your memory forever. It's stored in your muscle memory forever. So if you can just do this once a day for 21 days, doing it for half an hour, trying different strings, moving. That's great. I want to say something quickly now. It's a technique we'll get into later, but at the moment, don't skip over strings. Always move from one string to either going to the string below or the string above. Don't jump over strings. We'll get to that technique a bit later. It requires a lot more coordination to not screw it up. So for now, just stick to nice and basic. Just getting this technique going. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I cannot overstate how important it is to just get these techniques nice and solid, to get, nice, steady, even if it's slow. Slow is fine. I'd rather listen to a slow guitarist than a guitarist who's out of time and messing up and stuff. Just keep it slow, nice and steady. Practice, practice, practice. Half an hour a day. It's not that much. Out of 24 hours, half an hour a day. I'm sure you can do it. It's not bad at all. And I know, because I've only given you like 2 things to try, it'll be probably boring as hell. I know, I've been there. When I was starting off, like all I wanted to do was be playing crazy solos and like shredding away, but you can't, because you're new to this and you have to create the muscle memory and your hands have to get used to the technique and everything. So remember what I've said in like the second video in terms of keeping your fingers, the positioning of your fingers coming down nice and straight, positioning of your thumb. You'll notice when you see me playing like this, you don't see my thumb coming up. So make sure just keep in mind what I've said all the time. If you need to make notes, that's perfect. In fact, I would really encourage it. Yeah, okay, so I think I ranted enough now. So that's a good place to start. Do that for the next week. The next lesson is going to be a theory lesson anyway, so you can probably do this for the next 2 weeks of just getting this, you're picking down, getting it accurate, getting it solid. It's so important. Cannot overstress it. Make notes, listen to everything I've said again, watch it over and over and over again, because then I get lots of views, which is cool. But seriously, watch, do anything. If you want to download these videos, that's perfect. I don't mind, I don't have anything against that. Do it, practice, 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 listen to what I've said, make notes, And I think that's all I can really say. Okay, so cool, everybody. Just keep practicing. Like I said, half an hour a day, please, 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 please. Half an hour a day. And I will see you in the next video for some theory. I can't wait. Okay, bye everybody.